Alright, today we'll be working on the 04 Monte Carlo. We're checking out the horn relay system, making sure that's all up to spec. Customer complained about the horn works some of the time, sometimes it doesn't. He pushes the button, it doesn't go. It works fine, sometimes it's not always. We're going through and just checking that all out. So real quick in here, the fuse box that all that is located in is just on the passenger side fender underneath the hood. You can see right here, you pull this off. This one right here, just taking a look at it, this is the horn relay fuse. It's going to be 15 amps, and then this one in here is the relay itself. That's just the location aspect of it. The horns themselves are actually right here just underneath the passenger side headlight. I've taken the liberty and pulled that all out in front just to save time. And then finally the ground for the whole system is just right here, just above the the driver's side headlight. And as you can see, it does look a little bit rusty, a little bit corroded. That could be our problem. So we're going to take a look at that and see what we can find. So first thing in testing the relay circuit, you want to figure out what the different pins in your relay mean. Right here, we actually can see there's different numbers for each pin, labeling it is. Luckily, we do have a little diagram on the side that explains what's actually happening. So as you can see, the 85 and 86 are the control side, and the 87 and 30 are the switch side. So that means if we take another look at this, we can see that they're diagonally aligned for each thing. So what that means is, when we take a look at our ports in the fuse box itself, we can figure out which ports are supposed to be for which. And actually, fun fact, they can be upside down as well. It'll work both ways. But one thing we have to look for is, if you look at it just like this, it seems like this one's 30 and this one's 87. This one's 86 and this one's 85. But you have to remember that when you do install, you do have to flip it around. So it's actually 30s up here, making 30 is actually up here, with 86 being here, 85 being here, and 87 being here. That's just something to remember. Now, once you've established that, it's always a good idea with your trusty notebook, pardon the wind, we can just go ahead and write down exactly what each terminal is actually marked as on your paper. So right here we got 30, then we have 87, 86, and 85. Now the next step in the process, we need to figure out which one of these is actually coming from your positive battery and which one is going to be your ground. And remember, they are lined up to be diagonally connected to each other. So we'll go ahead and do a quick test on that. Okay, as soon as we know which terminals are which, we can start testing which one is actually battery positive and which one is battery negative. So right here we got 86, and we have our paper for reference. We can just we have our test light hooked up to the frame, the water pump, so it's just going to ground through the engine to the frame and back to the battery. We just go through, and because we're not adding power to anything, and we have the test light for a load, we just go through and touch it, and right there, because we are providing ground, we know that this is providing power from the battery, so we know that this is going to be battery plus. So we take our sheet, again, pardon the wind, we just go through and mark B plus so that we know. We do that for each and every one until we know which is which. So you're just going down the line, this one right here, for number 87, is also the power in the system. So we'll go through and write that down. Now, technically, you could just go through and mark down the others as B minus, but it's always a good idea just to make sure. It helps if you got something set up wrong that you just know for sure. Right there, no light, and again, no light. So you know that that's good to go. That way you can go right B minus there, and B minus there.
So here we are testing the ground side of the relay terminal ports. So we have our test light hooked up to the positive side of our battery, and we're going to press our test light into the ground side of the terminal. So as you can see here, our test light is illuminating, therefore we are grounding on the side of the terminal. And this top one, so as of right now we are not making a ground, but when Jake presses the horn, it should illuminate. And here we are illuminating. So this verifies that this is 85B negative and this is 30B negative. So now that we've identified our terminals, we're now going to skip the relay and supply power to the horn to verify its functionality. now we verify that the horn does in fact work, and now it's down to testing our